Today we are welcoming Mr. Mayonnaise back to the salon. If you're new here, Mayo is one of my spicy Persian cats that I groom, and he's also hilarious. Hi Mayo. I know you're so mad. Are you mad, boy? Meow. Meow. Mayo hates coming here. Okay. I'm sorry that you have to be here today. Please don't kill me, okay? Hello, Mayo. Hello, Mayonnaise. Okay, can we come out, please? It's okay. I know you hate coming here. Now, every time Mayo comes here, I'm having a harder and harder time getting any of the fur that's around his face or his neck. Does not want me touching it. So I'm going to try to do that now rather than wait till the end when he is spicy. And hopefully I don't regret that. Good boy. Hi, Mayo. It's okay, Mayonnaise. Can I feel over here? Without you biting me? Please don't jump, Mayo. We don't jump. We don't jump, Mr. Mayo. It's okay. Now, what Mayo hates more than absolutely anything in the world is the bath. The bath really stresses him out. And I don't always need to bathe him, but sometimes I have no choice. If I am leaving him long today, I'm gonna have to bathe him. But I don't know if I'm leaving him long yet. I haven't decided. Good boy. Now, Mayonnaise will bite me, and he will scratch me. Usually once he gets to a point where he's overstimulated, that's when that will start. So what I always do, first things first, we have to bubble you. Yeah, I know, you hate the bubble. You hate the bubble. I know. Okay. Then we have to clip your nails, because your nails always annihilate me. I have been scratched so many times by this cat. Really badly scratched, too. Now, Persians are typically not like this. They are typically very placid, easygoing cats. It's okay, buddy. But Mayo, number one, is most certainly not a properly bred Persian. Although he is beautiful, he is certainly a backyard bred Persian. So he was not bred for excellent temperament. He was bred for looks and money. That's number one. Number two, the first home he was in didn't understand the maintenance of the Persian, and so he got extremely matted, and his first grooming experience was not a good one. So that kind of set him up for failure, both of those things. Now when he comes in, he has some matting here and there, but he's usually pretty well cared for. However, keep in mind, because he had such a bad grooming experience, Mayo does not like to be brushed. So he puts up a big fuss at home. So they do brush him, but he has a threshold, and once he hits that threshold, there's nothing the owners can do. So unfortunately, that has led to him becoming quite matted in certain areas, but not as bad as the first time that I groomed him. So that is Mayo's story. He is a pretty easygoing cat, like I said, until he hits his threshold. If you want to go back to old videos, you can watch. There's so many videos of Mayo. But I just got sick of getting hurt by him, so I started doing this, and that has kept me relatively safe. If I can avoid bathing him today, he will be a much happier cat, and his threshold may never get hit. He doesn't like brushing, as I said, but he is more tolerant for that than bathing. Once I bathe him and dry him, he is very upset afterwards, and then trying to brush him near the end is like impossible. So we will try to avoid that today, Mr. Mayo, sir. Although your water is filled up and ready for you. Now Mayo, has had urinary blockages in the past. And sometimes that can happen from a lack of water, but it can also happen from stress. So that's another reason why I try to avoid bathing him, because I know it will really stress him out. Let's shape up this area first, because we know the sanitary on a Persian gets quite gross. Now I must feel for matting. So far I'm feeling a lot of compaction. Since Mayo doesn't like brushing, unfortunately when you are brushing out compacted hair, like you guys saw with Phineas grooming, Phineas is also a Persian, it does cause quite a bit of pulling, although the hair comes out fairly easily. And the problem with that is that if you have a cat that's not tolerant of brushing, then it can be very difficult to brush all of that compaction out. That being said, it's a lot easier to remove all of the compaction if you bathe and blow dry them, because you can blow out the coat. Now Mayo doesn't hate the blow dryer. He's pretty okay with it, but the bath is what he doesn't like. So when you have a cat that really gets stressed over bathing and you're trying not to bathe them, and then they have compaction like this, it's really difficult because then you have to brush it. Mayo, if you could at least be good for one thing, like be good for the bath, or like tolerate it well enough, or be good for brushing, then, you know, things could be easier, but you are a pain. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. I just had to shave out that matting, Mr. Mayonnaise. Yeah. Come here. He's whipping his tail. He's already had enough of me. You see? He hates when I go under there. That's always an issue for him. Okay. I'm going to shave under here just because it's easier for your owners to maintain if it's shaved, all right? Okay, I think I've removed all of the matting. So I think brushing right now would be ideal. If I can brush him out completely without him losing it, then I don't have to bathe him. If I can't brush him out completely without him losing it, then I will have to bathe him, because although he gets stressed in the bath, it's a lot easier for me to blow out his coat than it is for me to brush if he's going to get upset. Now he does have his bubble on, and he does have his little mittens on, which is just vet wrap, by the way, for those of you who always ask me. So he can't hurt me, but still if he continues to go at me, then obviously it makes my job more complicated. He's already starting to dislike it. So I am brushing him with my slicker brush, and then I'm going through him with my cat carding butter comb. The cat carding butter comb really helps to pull all of that shedding coat out. The slicker just loosens it up so that you're not pulling as much with the comb, but it still pulls. There's not much you can do about that when you have a Persian like this. Now, Persian cat breeders, ethical Persian cat breeders, I would like to just add that in there, they will get their kittens used to grooming from a very young age. So I think starting at about 3 or 4 weeks old, they will start weekly bathing them and blow drying them so that they get used to the bath and they get used to the blow dryer. They also brush them, obviously. That way, by the time you get your cat, they are so acclimated to it from a very young age that they are easier for the owner to maintain at home. Also, they typically don't rehome cats until they are at least 12 weeks old, sometimes even 14 to 16 weeks old. So they are very well accustomed to grooming at this point. I'm sorry. I don't like your tail being touched, I know. Mayonnaise did not get that from his breeder. So unfortunately, he's not accustomed to it. And as I said in the beginning, we had to get him accustomed to it, which never really worked. He hates grooming. He's going to get upset soon and swat me with his little mittens. This is why I end up having to bathe you, Mayo. If you would just allow me to brush you, I wouldn't have to bathe you. Now, I've done a lot of spicy cats on my channel, obviously, but some of them I have to send home. And the reason why is because you can see that Mayo has the bubble on his head and he has his paws wrapped. A lot of cats won't even allow me to do that. Or if I put the bubble on their head, they'll start panicking and thrashing and smashing the bubble everywhere, which is dangerous for them. So I end up having to not be able to do them. But because Mayo is fairly calm when he first comes in and he lets me do those things, that's the only reason why I'm able to complete him. The reason why I don't use the cone on Mayo instead of the bubble is because the bubble gives me 100% protection. The cone gives me some protection, but number one, cats could still bite through the cone because it's soft, right? And number two, they could still bite me where the cone doesn't cover their face, right? So for some cats, I can use that because they don't really try to bite, or they think they can't bite if they have that on, or it's in the way enough that I can maneuver it. But with Mayo, like, he will try to bite me hard, and I can't risk that, because if I risk getting bit by him, I risk potentially losing my entire career, because cat saliva is very full of bacteria, far worse than dogs, for example. And even though you can go to the doctors immediately and get antibiotics, which I've done for a cat bite before, sometimes, especially if the cat bite reaches the bone, the infection can spread quite quickly, even with antibiotics, and it can result in literally amputation of like one of your fingers, or surgery to open up your hand and drain the infection. Like, it's very, very dangerous to get bit by a cat. I always get people in the comments saying, I get bit by my cat all the time and I'm fine. You're likely getting play bit by your cat, and getting a play bite from your cat is okay. Purdy play nips me all the time, but her teeth are not sinking deep enough into my muscle tissue or to the bone to the point where it can cause infection. It's just like a topical scratch, basically. And although those can still get infected, they're less likely to get infected. The reason why cat bites get infected so quickly is not just because of the bacteria, it's because of the shape of their teeth and how small their teeth are. So their teeth are like little needles and they hook. So when they bite you, because their teeth are like little needles and the bite is so tiny, like the puncture wound is so tiny, it closes very, very quickly. So the bacteria gets stuck in there before you even have a chance to flush it out, because of how quickly it starts to close afterwards. So that's the reason why cat bites can sometimes be worse than dog bites, because dogs have bigger teeth and the wound sometimes stays open long enough for you to be able to flush it out. Unfortunately, Mayonnaise, you are quite dirty. I can feel like a film on my hand, and I feel like you're gonna need a bath. Persians are usually not very vocal cats, but Mayo is extremely vocal. He's probably one of the most vocal cats that I groom. Are you starting? Well, it didn't take very long for your timer to be up. No wonder why your owners have a hard time maintaining you at home. You are so full of dry skin, buddy. Look at this. Okay, Mayo. You can see how much dry skin he has. He unfortunately needs a bath. He's already starting. Yeah, well, you did this to yourself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I could have done without this, but you wouldn't let me. Now I have to blow your coat out with the dryer. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Maymay. It's okay, Maymays. I know. You did this to yourself. Yeah. I'm sorry. You're a big pain, sir. So that's why Mayonnaise gets shaved a lot, because he absolutely hates having his coat maintained. However, they try not to shave him in the winter. Obviously, we're in the winter right now. We usually shave him down in the spring. So because he really doesn't have that much matting, I don't have to shave him, but he just hates having his coat maintained. So... yeah, that was some brown water. Stay there. Should have let me brush you. Should have let me brush you. Okay. Okay. I am keeping the vet wrap on his paws, but I'm sure that that will probably come off when he gets wet, because he will try to climb my arm jumping out of the tub, and he will scratch the heck out of it. Unintentionally, but he will. Like that. He would benefit from conditioner. The thing is that he gets so stressed in the bath that I just avoid doing the conditioner, because it takes quite a while to rinse that out of his coat, and then he just frickin' panics, and it's not a good time for anyone. So we don't do that, unfortunately. It would be really beneficial, but everything about Mayonnaise has to be complicated. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're a big pain in the butt. I did suggest to the owners that maybe at Mayonnaise' next appointment, we consider sedating him. Maybe not for his next one, because his next one he'll be a shave and he doesn't mind the shave as much. But the next time he needs to have his actual coat maintained, maybe we will try some sedation, and maybe that will make it easier for everybody. Very brown water. Okay, sometimes, yeah, Mayo tries to escape these holes in the drying cage. Sorry, buddy. So if I put this on his head, he won't be able to stick his head out of the hole. And it will also protect him a little bit more from the dryer. Now, one of the good things about Mayo is that when he's in the drying crate, good boy, he is very upset. And because he's very upset, he doesn't pay attention to me brushing him and drying him at the same time because he's very scared of the dryer, although he does do pretty well for a cat that's scared of the dryer, which meant that I was able to fully brush him pretty much everywhere while he was in the drying crate without having to worry about him lashing out at me. When I was drying him, I noticed some spots that needed to be shaved, so I'm shaving those now. Mayo is really pretty much fine with the clipper. He just really doesn't like the brush. So I'm gonna try to shave out as much as I can here, and then go over him quickly with the brush, and then he can go home. Some spots underneath this cone that I have to get. Good boy. Don't make me put the bubble back on you. It's okay, I'm gonna shave it. I just have to find it first. Sometimes it's hard to find. Some people will say, why don't you be more gentle with the brush? So I was really gentle with the brush when he first got here in the hopes that it wouldn't set him off, and it still set him off. So now I am just trying to work quickly, because once we get to the point where he doesn't want this done anymore, it's going to be hard for me to continue. So the quicker I can go, the better. Now, as I said, I did brush him all out in the drying crate, but the dryer does tangle the hair quite a bit, so I still need to go over him to remove any of those tangles. I'm going to leave the tail to the very end because I know that he hates the tail. Okay, give you a break for a second. Okay, Mayo, your owner is here, so I'm going to need you to cooperate. You're almost done. Just checking, seeing if you had any mats. Okay. You done? Okay, come over here. So I have to remove everything from his head now, and this is the part that he really hates. You hate having your cheeks brushed. Okay, okay. Look. Unfortunately, your head is still a bit damp. Good boy so far. Please stay a good boy. Mayo, you have a little bit of a mat behind your ear. Would you let me shave that out, please? Please. Will you let me? Look, you have a little mat right there. Can I shave it? Good boy. Good boy. So he has a lot of shedding hair at the top of his head, but I'm not going to be able to remove that without getting bit, because Mayo gets into a spot where he's done with it, and he's pretty much there. So I am going to put the bubble on his head just so I can remove the wraps from his front paws. There. I'm just removing them. It's okay. There. See? I always do this to myself, but I'm supposed to do that first before I remove the wraps, and I do it every single time because I forget. Okay, well, good enough, right? Good enough, May May? Thank you for the hiss. Appreciated. How would you rate your grooming experience today? Okay. If you guys liked this video and you want to see more of the angry Mayo, don't forget to hit that follow or subscribe button and share with all of your friends. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again in a few days.